again. What's up, girl?
Hey, how you doing today?
Yo, the sun is shining. It is
It is
a
such a
beautiful
beautiful
day.
day. I just texted my husband. I'm like, it is gorgeous outside.
It's beautiful. And when the weather is beautiful like this, you just feel like you get a dose of energy,
It's true.
right?
Does it make you feel like you want to be outside?
I want to be outside.
You got
It's
anywhere
like
to go?
nowhere to go. It's like, oh, maybe I could pick up Gigi and take her to the park.
It's
like you feel that until you pick them up. You're like, we ain't going
No,
nowhere.
we ain't doing that. But it's true. As we're moving out this season where it's so dark and so cold, and you just want to stay inside. The opposite. Now that the sun is out, right? It's about to be. We just had daylight saving, right? So it's gonna be getting darker later, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It just makes you want to move.
You want to be outside. You're like, oh, I don't want to miss anything.
You be ready to time out, right?
Oh, I could take a time out.
That's
now.
it. You be ready to time out. Are you guys taking your time out? Have you been taking yours?
Yo, little by little, I have.
Tuned into Time In, Time Out podcast with Kiana and Kina.
Or Kina and Kiana.
Yo, y'all been watching. I need everybody right now to stop what you're doing and hit that subscribe
like
button.
Right now. It's
now.
Quick. Just subscribe
now.
Please, as you're watching it.
It don't cost nothing, y'all. It's free.
It's free to you, but it matters so much to us. So could y'all please do that for us?
Thank you.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate all the support. We appreciate you guys are watching. We appreciate every comment, all the feedback that we're even getting offline, whether it's a text message, whether it's a share, whether it's a word. Seriously, it means so much to us.
Yeah.
Keep on doing it, and we're going to keep on doing what we do.
So back to that hour. How do your kids respond to that hour? Do they notice or they don't feel it?
I don't think they feel it.
Y'all, we're talking about parenting today. And let me tell you, my little one, she feels it.
How old is your little one?
She's 4 years old, y'all.
Okay.
So bedtime is 8:00.
Yeah.
It was still light outside.
Yeah.
Mommy, it's not bedtime.
Yeah.
It's morning because the sun is still out. So that's what I'm saying. Like it affects the little ones.
I remember that when my children were younger and how I would have to play with it and everything else like that and have conversations that weren't always like honest. And even when the daylight saving time and we lose an hour, we gain an hour. It's the same thing.
It's
you know what I mean?
Torture, because then bedtime it's like it's not time to go to sleep.
It's true, but I always have fun with it.
Oh, so always. This parenting thing,
it's fun.
How y'all doing?
And
guys, this episode is for everybody. It's for aunties, singles. If you're thinking about kids, if you don't want no kids, but y'all are all a part of the village, y'all. It's true. So
from one parent
this
to whoever you
episode
are,
is for everybody.
Period. It definitely
because we need help. As
we
a
do
parent,
need help.
We need help.
Well, they be like, send help.
Send it.
And
I'm gonna use it.
Seriously. I would say, well, obviously, for any parents who are watching, you would probably say this is one of the hardest things you've ever done.
Because it's a new day on the job every day.
It really is true.
So I have 3 children, guys. Okay. My son is 19 years old.
Absolutely unbelievable.
He's
Look
a
at her.
Freshman in college.
Thank
you. Good. I have a teenager, y'all, 13,
That's
8th
wild.
grade.
That's wild.
And then I have a toddler,
That's
4 years old, who's the boss.
Okay.
Who's kicking my butt.
So you're all
I got 2 teens and a toddler, but they're all in different decades.
So you got like an adult, a young
adult, a teenager.
I said adult. She said a young adult.
He ain't there yet. It's still progressing.
Okay. Yeah.
And then a toddler.
Yeah.
If y'all know about toddlers, I'm tired.
I'm sure you are.
So pray for me, y'all.
Prayers continually. We were fasting. We're praying for you.
All of that.
All of that is necessary.
How about you? What is your parenthood?
So what I'm gonna say, I think I'm in a good place today. Okay. Tonight could be
one day
different.
At a time.
Forget tomorrow. Tonight. Actually, when I finish and I look at my phone, it could be something different. But right now, I'm in a good place. So I have 4 children. I have 2 that I've birthed, and then I have we have custody of our great niece and nephew. But I am mom and dad to them. So I have an 18-year-old, which is just wild to me. I have a 14-year-old, and then I have an 11-year-old. He just had a birthday. Aww. Happy belated birthday to you. And then I have a 6-year-old who's about to be 7 next week. So I got a little bit of everything.
Whoa.
It's crazy because all of my girlfriends have, or not all of them, a lot of my girlfriends have 4 children. My sister has 4 kids. A lot of people have 4 kids. And I'm like, who? Why? I don't understand how you get to that point in life. And God was like, you're funny. This is going to be your reality.
This is your reality
and
now.
It is wild, wild west. Always something going on. Always pulled in a
It's never a dull moment. I'm always like, if we had a reality show, like it would be the bomb.
I call our house, it's like the Wild Wild West. Or I'll call it, it's a circus. Like definitely when the youngers first came with us, which was I think we're almost 6 years. Yeah. I'm like, it's a circus. It literally is a circus.
I call it a beautiful chaos, right?
It's true.
And people are like, you got so much life in your home.
It's very true.
Always something going on. Because now that my son's in college, it's like a little glimpse of like, oh my gosh, when they start leaving the nest, it's like you wait for that time. You can't wait, but it's like, what am I gonna do with myself?
Wise older people always say like cherish these moments, because I know right now we're like rushing and we are like in the thick of it and it's overwhelming, but there's gonna come a day when we are, thinking back to this time like, what I would give. You want your older kids to come over, stay at night, so it's just
what they say, the days are long but the years are short. Period. And that is the truth. And I'm glad that all my kids are like in different ages, because now I have a glimpse of what that's like. And I can like, okay, let me try to do this different. Let me really be grounded. Let me stay in this moment a little longer. But that first one, my firstborn, we was in them trenches together.
No.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
What? Okay. It's like, whoa, became a young mom. Yeah. And it's like, how am I going to do this thing?
And look at
what does this even look like? Wow. I'm responsible for a human being.
Which is wild. Who said that this was okay?
So the way I parented him versus how I'm parenting my other ones is totally different. Because I was in my early 20s. Yeah. And it was like I was still outside. Yeah. He was coming with me.
That's not even
He was at places that he should not have been at because I wasn't missing
out. That's her testimony.
That's crazy. I be thinking about that like that's wild. Anywho,
that's so funny.
We made it.
Y'all made it. Y'all didn't just make it. Y'all are doing absolutely amazing.
But so the little one, the toddler, it's like she gets the best of me because now it's like I know what and what not to do. So it's
and I think that's a lot of people's like experience when you have kids that are so like far apart, because we hope that we're all evolving and changing and maturing. We hope in our way of thinking expands. We hope in our pockets expand, our experience, exposures, etc. I think it's, as parents, that's our goal. But as kids, sometimes it's hard for them to understand like why they got this privilege, why they were able to have this exposure. And then that might not have been the experience of someone who's older. But I think we should all be excited for the glow up. You know what I mean?
And broken children turn into broken adults. So I'm very mindful. Like, I don't want my kid coming back when they're an adult like, Mom, you messing me up. So
I think all our kids come back with a little bit of that. But
they will, I'm sure.
I understand what you're saying. It's a heavy responsibility.
It's such a responsibility. And it's like, you got to be organized. You got to have a schedule. And that's so opposite of me. I'm like, go with the wind. Like, just easy, breezy. Like,
you're a great balance for me with that. I love that.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, taking kids to school in the morning
is
joke. Chaotic.
I haven't experienced a lot of that because I've worked had to work at 5 a.m. for the last 18 years. So I'm not on morning routine. I'm really envious when I think of like the pickup lines or but I'm good in the morning. Like the days when I'm home, maybe because I don't do it every day. Right. But I'm a gentle, I'm sweet, I'm peaceful. I'll rub your back. I'm like, get your stuff. I just feel like for me, like time is everything. If I wake up early enough, I talked before about like a great night routine makes a great morning routine. If I wake early enough, then it can be a slow morning. I don't believe that the morning routine has to be chaos. Maybe because I'm inexperienced. I don't know.
You know what it is? I'm not a morning person. So I hear it all the time. Get up before your kids wake up. We waking up at the
Even
same
the way
time.
you said it, it's like
I am a yeller, and I'm like, I feel so bad. It's to the point I yell at my daughter, get out the house. And then I'm like, when I drop her off, I'm texting her like, Mommy's so sorry.
Yeah. I love that.
Because I don't want you to have a bad day because our morning has
to.
Yes, because I don't want to get up. So when somebody's yelling at me to get up, and it's like, okay. So some days it's like, okay, let me try to be that what do they say, gentle parenting? But you don't got gentle kids, so it's like
no, I know that's true, but I do believe. Okay, I'm going to be, just that person. I believe that sometimes, not all the times, the kids are a reflection of us. So they match our energy, or even if they have a certain energy, that we have the power to adjust and to change that energy. Now, as raising a child that had a lot of behavioral issues, I know that it's not easy. I know that it's a fight. I know that it's a lot of structure. It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of fasting. It's a lot of praying. But I do believe that we as parents have more power for our environment and the energy and the attitudes that are in our home than we, really think about.
Because when it is a good morning, it's a great morning. Like if I'm intentional, like let me get up early, let me wake them up a little bit earlier. You got 10 more minutes, right? You got this, give up like realistic expectations, because we have to understand they're children, right? So developmentally, they don't have the same capacity that we have as adults. So we have to steward that well and learn, like, you know what? Let me give them some grace. Because if I don't want to be woken up all crazy, like get up, snatching the covers, like why am I doing it today? Good, but that's real.
This is real. But even like our children, for any of you who are out there and you're raising girls, forget girls, just children. They have different emotions and they have different hormones and they're ever changing. I think we need to be more compassionate. I think we need to be more mindful of their reality and not just be so strict and not just be so I don't know, just
because I said so.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I do think that if we know that they're struggling emotionally, we realize that they're struggling mentally, it's okay for us. The word I was looking for, rigid. We don't have to be so rigid. Right. I feel like we can make space. If my daughter is having a hard day, if I realize she's really irritable, I'm going to curtail how I interact with her, because I don't want it to be a toxic environment. No. I'm not going to also match your energy, right? I'm going to show you, okay, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to say, what's going on? How are you feeling? If I feel like you need a minute, I'm going to give you a minute.
And we want to be that safe space, right? Because if we're not checking in with them on their feelings, they're going to be like, I can't come to you.
It's true.
And then they're going to go alternate routes and go lean on their friends or somebody else that might not be a good safe space. You know what I mean?
And don't you have moments where you're not as social, like even in your house?
Of course. So it's like, give them that time.
Give them that time. But sometimes us as parents, and I've done it before, I'm sure I'll do it again, we just be, and it's just like, let them breathe. Let them, they come home, let them unwind. They might not want to talk to you, right?
And that's okay.
It's okay. Stop being so sensitive.
So is there a difference between boys and girls?
That's a great question. It's for me, my boys, hands down, easier for me so far. Just been 18 years doing it. I'm not a professional. Kind of am a professional. Kind of have my master's in marriage and family. But anyway, I'm just saying, for me, boys, like, they're just a little bit easier when you talk about, like, I think emotions.
I agree. I always say my son set me up because it was just too perfect.
They say the first one typically sets you up
your
anyway.
First one anyway.
It's true.
It's just like.
But that says something too. Why is it that first one? Is it because
we put in so much energy? It's our fault. I think we dropped the ball.
I don't know.
What y'all think? I think we
are we now dividing ourselves in our attention and everything else like that?
Because like the way I disciplined him, he didn't have to be. It was like I can just look at him. He doesn't want to disappoint, and he would cry.
It's true.
That second born.
It's true.
And she's a girl.
Same.
And so it was just like, what? Like it worked for him. Why is it not working for you? So it's different parenting styles for each kid, because each kid, they're born like that. They born with their personalities, and she was more headstrong. So it was like she not challenging me, but she's a human.
It's true. Yeah.
Why? So it was more so it's like, you know what? Let me explain it. Let me break it down to her at her because it's like, why shouldn't she know?
It's true.
Not like because I said so. I hated that as a kid. So it's like
I didn't mind it. It was normal to me.
But
that's not what I want to do.
That's
I agree. But what worked for me, I realized is not gonna work for my kid. It ain't.
Oh, it's two different generations.
The world is a different
and the world
place.
is a different place. The way we were raised, we cannot raise our kids.
It's true.
They have social media, like
it's different.
Our punishments were different. You could take TV from us, and that affected us. These kids don't even watch TV. It's like, how do you punish your kid? You gotta take the phone, the tablet, the this. Even you take all of that away, they still got access.
It's very
some
true.
way, somehow. It's like, so it's like even disciplining these kids is like, what?
I would say though, so it is more challenging raising a girl, but for me, again, my experience, girls mature a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Girls, at least again, back to me in my experience, like my girls, I don't know, I guess it's different because the younger boy, he's incredibly helpful. He's incredibly like thoughtful. But I know boys could be not as mature sometimes,
right,
not as responsible sometimes, and not as like helpful sometimes.
So with your girls, I know me and my newly teenage daughter are having healthy discussions about like things that she wants to explore. So it's like makeup and dating and things. It's like, but I'm like appreciated because she's so comfortable to talk to me about these things. Where it's like me, I was hiding all of that stuff. And not to say that my mom wasn't an open person. Like I just don't want to talk to my mom about that. So I would go to my friends. But I feel like I want my child to come to me. Like I want to be the first one to give them.
I love that.
Like
that's so special. Very similar. Like my daughter and I have like my kids, boys and girls. Honestly, I'm gonna say we have a really, really good relationship. I think I've talked about it before on the podcast. I will say I've lived a pretty like cookie cutter clean life, right? And I have like very narrow thoughts on a lot of things because of my faith. But still, even with that and my kids knowing like what my standard is and everything, I have always had open dialogue, open discussion to see how they were feeling about, you know, a subject or whatever the case is like that. And then to provide them with all of the information on this subject instead of, you know, like when we were growing up in church, it's like, just don't have sex. You know what I mean? Just don't smoke, just don't drink. And so for me, my husband and I, our parenting skill is just to go a little bit deeper into this is why you don't do it. This is why God doesn't want you to do it. And whatever. I'm not going to go too deep.
No, but that's important. Again, that's not because it's like you tell a kid, don't run. Give them another option. Walk.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Or dive deeper into it because you just say don't smoke. And it's like, well, dang, what can I do?
And
don't do this. Well, what can I do?
And I love this conversation for us because we're going to go a little bit deeper. If you are going to do this, bring me in. Don't keep me out because you know my standard on this. We're going to talk.
I would rather you come to me. Even if you're out and you're making unwise decisions and I got to come pick you up. You have no questions asked.
No,
I just want you to be safe.
I want to be a I want to be a holistic parent. So a holistic parent doesn't mean just throw away the book at all, but it means like even for friendships,
it's almost like practical too, and because they are their own people and they're going to make their own decisions and own choices, no matter what foundation we give them, no matter what my mom did not want me to be a young mom, right? Like, you know what I mean? Your kids are going to disappoint you. It's how you react to that disappointment that's important, right? Because even when I was a young parent, other people shamed me, but my mom stepped in real quick. It was like, it was a bad choice you made, and we have to live with this, right? Like, you know what I mean? And to me, that was big because it was like, she didn't condemn me. She didn't say, you shouldn't. It was none of that. And not to say that she was, condoning it, right? And I really was like, you know what I mean?
You're already dealing with your own,
own. Exactly. And as a young kid trying to hide it, or I know friends who did other things that I didn't do, like to not.
Of course.
So it's like, wow. Like I always think back at that time. Like I do a lot of reflecting, especially on my older son. It was like God is good because it could have went a different way. My relationships could have been tainted. You know what I mean? Like, because people do shame you, and especially in the church, they look at you crazy as if like you just got to be perfect.
It's
so, but I like you said, what do you call it? Holistic parenting.
I don't know if that's a thing, but that's just the way that I'm
but that's
describing it.
beautiful, right?
What I'm hearing now is like a lot of intentionality is important when parenting.
Very,
It's not like, I do think that this generation, we are more thoughtful and more mindful in the way that we parent. The previous generations, I do think obviously they were great parents. I mean, look at us. I don't know, but like we're intentional. We're having like family days. We're talking, and other generations, they did stuff like, but we're trying to talk about like credit. We're trying to talk about mental health. Obviously, that's a big thing that we're trying to talk about. We're having the sex conversations. We're having the drinking and smoking, and like we're having these we're having the what is the sexuality conversations, like
that's a big one too. I don't even know these terms, and like, so are you trying to stay like hip in knowing these things? Because I try and I feel like I'm failing. I don't even know like the terminologies that they're using, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
I'm gonna be honest, like, no, I'm not. My ear is not to the ground. Maybe how it should be. But like my kids, they are very vocal and just telling me the different things that are out there. But sometimes like I'm not consistent. Sometimes I'll see something on the news and it's talking about like when vaping became big. Now I'm like starting to look, or apps became big, you know what I mean, that are targeting children. Then I would go and do a little research.
Even that, it's like, how do you keep up with that? Because they have the access in their hand, right? With the tablets, the iPads, and like,
and even like
they're like, oh, that's not a real, right?
Exactly.
They're like, that's not a real app. That's a secret app.
Crazy,
so they can do. It's like, how do
on
you
YouTube
keep
Kids? It'd be so much inappropriate stuff.
And that's where I'm failing with my toddler. I feel like she's addicted now to YouTube, and she's like, so now it's like trying to reel that back in and redirect it, because it's like, and that's where the intentionality is important with the toddler, because now since my older two, they're so independent, I'm tired. And it's like, go downstairs and get that iPad.
Y'all know it's real.
It's
y'all
like,
know it's real.
No, that's not good, because now she on this thing for 3 hours. It's time to go to bed. It's like, no, go get that that workbook. Let's color. Let's do something. So I have to be intentional with her, because it's so easy to let her go off and do. She's so independent, and it's like,
really is.
You know what? Let me be more intentional, be more hands-on, because parenting is hard, and we're tired. We working all day, but it's like, these kids ain't asked to be here.
And
I brought them into this
you're
world,
older now.
and I'm
Not
older now.
Old,
but yeah, in my situation,
it's different.
I wish I could have had all my kids in my 20s.
That would, you would be
in my perfect world, free.
Yeah,
but Lord, thank you.
But Lord, thank you for my current plight and for my current situation.
But yeah, it's like, yo, I'm tired. We all tired, but it's like, we have to, I need to be more intentional and put my energy, because these kids, they, like I said, they did not ask to be here, and it's not fair to them that they don't get the best of me.
It's true, and I think it's worth it. I think like this is one of the few things that we do in life, that matters so much. So for me, like, it's something, I don't know, I think most of us, it's like one of the greatest priorities in my life. And I'm like, at the end of the day, if I don't do great in every other category, for me, one thing I say, I'm nailing is parenting. And I don't always feel like it, but for me, like, I'm always like analyzing myself. I'm always trying to grow and to change. I would say the relationships really honestly that make me my best version is my children. They challenge me to think of my why. They challenge me to control my emotions. They challenge me to be more articulate in my feelings, or not more so in my feelings, and my thoughts and my opinions and my worldview. So for me, it's just like, it's the greatest thing. So yeah, it's exhausting. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yes, it's incredibly selfless. Sometimes you feel like just exhausted. Sometimes you feel like kind of like by yourself.
You do, but like you said, after all of that, there is a reward, right?
There is a reward.
There is a reward, and we're gonna get a return on this investment.
Come with it. I like that.
I know we're gonna get a return on this investment. I think about things, the way we take care of them is how I would love for them to take care of us when we need it, because it's the circle of life. We're going to need them, right?
I think about that.
So I think about all those things. I don't want my kid to be like, you know what, I'm gonna put her in a home or this. I want to be able to have that good relationship with my children. So I was like, don't throw me out there with the wolves.
No, that's
but no, it is a reward, and I appreciate the village. Even like my sister who doesn't have kids, like, it's rewarding for everyone. The grandparents, it's
absolutely.
Like all around, it's rewarding. It's so much joy, and
it's true.
being a parent, but there are hard days, and I want to acknowledge that there are hard days, and we're not gonna like those hard days, and sometimes you ain't gonna like your kids.
Come on,
That's
serious.
Just being real.
I didn't know that,
and it's hard when you don't. It makes me sad, and it's like
I didn't know that. Like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, I would say with having a boy first, it took me a while before I got to the point that I didn't like him. That was actually more recently. Like, prior to, I always liked him. And I know y'all not judging. If you don't got no kids, you might be judging. But if you got kids, keep on living and you'll know what we talk about.
Keep on living.
I got to that point with my daughter a lot sooner. I definitely got to the point. I think I go through ebbs and flows. Like, right now, thankfully, I like all of them. Me too. But it depends on what the day is. Like, it's not a day. No, it's not a day. It's a season that makes you be like, you know what? What am I doing with you? Because why are you?
My husband be like, you doing too much. He'd be like, man, bump them kids because
my husband is
bump them kids. Because the thing is, like, these kids gonna get old and they're gonna leave us. We still gotta have a life.
My child has been born.
Man, bump them kids.
My husband be telling me all the time, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm able to kind of like free myself from, like, as long as I know I'm doing everything that I can, as long as I know I'm like showing up for them the way that I can, I realize I can't go on this emotional roller coaster because they on it. I can't do that. I have to lead the way. I can't let them show me where I'm going.
They cannot be in the driver's seat.
They can't. But have your kids ever been in it?
What? They trying to take over. They trying to throw me out the car.
It's true. What?
We gotta reel it back in. Like, you know what? We are not friends. We are not on the same.
Yeah.
This is. I'm the parent.
No, it's very true. So I think it is a great work, as we said, it is beautiful, but man, it is definitely one of the most challenging things.
I call it's a labor of love, and it's unique in a way because your kids are unique, and it's almost like a reflection, it's a mirror because you see yourself in your kids too. Like some of the things my bad habits, I'm like, oh no, they picked that up.
No, they don't pick it up. They pick it up and magnify it times 50.
That's what I said. It's like a mirror. You're like, oh my gosh, where did they learn this? But no, this is good. Like, what's y'all parenting style? Like, are you organized? Do you have schedules? Are you that 5 a.m. mama that's getting up before your kids and the lunches are all cute and pretty? And what kind of mom or parent are you?
Oh,
I'm just like, just get out and go. Like,
I'm as long as the first day of school, everything.
As long as you are healthy, you are safe. Going about your business. I don't care what you look like. Most of the time, Gigi, she gonna wear whatever she want to wear. And you like it, sis. Like, go ahead. Go ahead. Shoes be like this. They're like her shoes on the wrong feet. I'm just proud she did it by herself.
I love that. That's you. And I think there's so much freedom.
But I grew it. I wasn't always like that because with my son, like, again, it was a mirror to me as a young mom. It was like I had to prove to people, like, oh no, he is put together. He can read. He could do this. He could, like, it was almost like his resume. Like, now it's like she'll read eventually. She'll be potty trained eventually. Like, it's like the pressure is different. So at this stage in my life, but
because you feel more confident. And
I'm good now. Who gonna judge me?
Period.
And what can they say? My kids are.
What does your judgment? Who's going to judge me? Everybody. But what your judgment mean to me? Absolutely nothing.
You want to take these kids?
Exactly.
You want to babysit?
You don't.
Oh, you paying these?
You don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is good. I think we're about to wrap this up because.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what is this term?
Oh, default parenting.
Default parenting. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, we could talk about that a little bit.
Okay. As you're pulling up the definition, do you have it already?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Is the primary caregiver in a household taking on the majority of child-related responsibilities and household tasks. So, based on that definition, I consider myself the default parent. And it's not
if your husband, when your husband watches this, is he going to agree with you?
He will.
Okay, I love it.
For sure.
He said it. We know what it
believe me, we know our roles.
Okay, I love it.
But not just, they're still parents, guys. Nobody's saying like, hey, I don't do this. But it's just the default, like the one who knows all the schedules, the one who's making the appointments, the one who's picking and dropping off, packing the lunches, doing the hair, like go on that. The primary caregiver is like, go ask your mother. That's in That's in my world.
I guess probably most of us have that that kind of like setup. Although there are some people who are like 50-50, they split everything. Definitely new generation.
Oh yeah,
we old now, right? But like for us to like, I would say I'm more of the primary parent. Although like my husband has consistently done like the morning routine, as I mentioned, for years. But like when it comes to the stuff you said, making schedules, doctor's appointments, well, he does the morning, but I do like the afternoon routine and pick up the cooking,
dinner,
the cleaning, the dinner.
The cleaning, yeah.
He's a good straightener upper, baby. I know you're watching it. You're amazing. But do you think that moms are typically the default parenting? And shout out to all the single parents out there.
Nah, for
you
real.
guys
Y'all
are amazing. Whether you're a female or whether you are a male,
seriously.
y'all are the absolute goats. Keep up the great work. Stay encouraged. We know it's hard for y'all. It's hard for us, and we have partners, great, amazing partners, and it's challenging for us. Yeah. So our prayers are definitely out to all the single parents who are out there. Y'all got it.
What was you asking?
I was asking, do you think that's normal for the
I just think
to be the default?
Nature versus nurture, women are more nurturing and more like organized, things like that. So I think most times,
she said more organized.
Well, by nature, I'm not organized, so
men,
that I get that.
I wish the men who are following us, who are watching us, do y'all agree with that comment she just said? That nature, I understand by nature that we're I'm not claiming nurturing, but I'm just saying in general. Do y'all think that y'all think that women are more organized than men? I don't know, but we're more like secretaries, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying in that aspect. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
This is about to start a whole gender war.
I love it. I want to hear it. I want to hear everybody's thoughts.
But I think primarily it's typically the mom. And I know some opposites, like my brother, my cousins, they are the primary for their child. So it's different, right? It's case by case, but primarily I always just see like the mom, like play date, call the mom, call the mom, right? Like
no, it's true.
So
what advice would you give to the parents who are here watching it, or maybe even those who are about to be parents, or
do what works best for you in your household, in your schedule? Because people give lots of advice. I just be like, I take it what they say, chew the meat, spit out the bones. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna do what I want to do with my child because it's mine.
Yeah. Period. I love that.
I don't have any real solid do what works best for you. Because you'll figure it out. What advice do you give a parent?
What advice I would give a parent is to bathe yourself in prayer, bathe yourself in the word, fast for your children, pray for them, incorporate your faith in your household, give them a good foundation. It's a game changer for me in helping to shape my children's worldview, and it's a game changer for me in how I react to my children and how I lead my children. I am a better mom on a day-to-day basis, a better wife, a better everything, because I incorporate God in talking and communicating. I tell him I don't know how to do this. I had very present parents, but I didn't have the great parents to teach me what parenting looked like. I always say that to God. So you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to direct me. So that's the advice that I would give. I know that we pray. I know that faith is important to many of those who watch our podcast, but I would just encourage you just to ask God to continue to like lead you and guide you, not just when there are problems, but just on a day-to-day basis. Incorporate him in your parenting and make sure that as much as you can, make sure that your children have that foundation.
That's good. That was excellent. Good. I don't have nothing else to say, y'all.
But thank you.
Till next time, don't forget to subscribe.
Please subscribe.